Poor Fred, he's looking kind of sad these days. I think he's due for a refurbishment. Alright, before I begin today's job, I need my bender again. And I had to move it from over here to over here. Exciting, huh? Anyway, I didn't want to fire up my big generator. I just sold my little generator. Well, one of them. And I'm just going to have to use the quiet generator. Relatively quiet generator that I have. So let's bring that around. Alright, so this is my 2006 Prius flux capacitor edition. What? Where's the generator? Shit. Oh, hold on. Hold on. What do we got under here? Oh. Yeah, son. We got a 6.5 kilowatt hour battery ripped out of a different Prius and reconfigured from a 220 volt or so battery to a 12 volt battery. More like 14.5, 15 volts really, but that's actually ideal for this 1500 watt pure sine inverter. And I have a GFI plug here, needs to be rerouted a little bit, running to a triplex with a GFI built into it. And I also have, if I need it, a booster, several thousand amps of power there if I need it. The strap's a bit temporary. I'm going to be building a bracket to hold it all down a little better, and a cover to cover the bus bars. It is a potential arcing situation right there now, so I'm trying not to keep too much metal things in there. I know my jack is in there, that needs to go, but it's okay for now as long as I don't do anything stupid. And you know me, I never really do anything stupid. I have a big cutoff switch right here too if I have to kill the power to it for some reason or another. But basically that's the battery that kind of drives a Prius. There's one in there. That's the usual covering that's on them. I couldn't reuse that cover because of just the way the bus bars were. And I think I want to actually show it off, so I'm going to make something out of some polycarbonate or something like that. Alright, looks good. Good to roll. Now I need to use that for this next project. That's why I had to do that first. What I'm making here, this is my template. I'm making a fireplace grate. Sorry, I just made the fireplace grate. Now I'm making a screen. What I'm going to use on this is this really nice, thin, perforated plate. So I've got this stuff. I think it looks a lot tougher and longer lasting screen mesh material, which is frankly kind of hard to find. Alright, I got that all geared up there now. Also got my shear back on there with a little help from a friend. It's kind of heavy and awkward, so I can cut the flat bar off and try it out. Alright, I'm just going to run this bar through a little bit. Just a little bit. Not much, tiny little, very small kink. Not going to get too kinky, just a little kinky. Doesn't crush it too badly or anything. Like, it keeps it pretty flat, keeps it pretty straight. We got to go a little more, just a wee bit more. She's getting there. It's almost too much over there. Actually, that's really close. That's really close. Like, it's almost done. Like, that's enough right now. I don't know if you can really tell, but I want it just inside this, because this cardboard was a pretty good fit to the opening, so I want to make it about a 1/4 inch smaller. So actually, that's really close. I think I'm going to stick with that for now. That's getting real close now. So I'm going to take a little bit out of this one. If I follow that line there, this is too bent, a little too bent in that area. So I just put it like this. Give it a little tap, a little love tap. So that matches that way, and it should match close to that way. So that's really good right there. That's in the ballpark. And now what I'll do is I'll make a whole new line, because this is a corrected form, and then I'll flip it. And it's almost exactly the same. After I flipped it, I got this new line. You can see how close it is, right? So from a distance, that's going to be acceptable. The only thing I see wrong with it, it's a bit cranked up. Now, if I tap that down, it's going to open it up a little. So I'm going to try and just flatten it without shifting it. There. So now that's pretty flat, you can see. Flat to the table. And it's pretty flexible anyway, so once I weld it to the other stuff, it'll stiffen it up a little bit. So I didn't lose too much radius. So yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. That'll fit just inside the fireplace with just a little room to spare. All right, we got our pieces cut, lined up. We just gotta tack it together and get that screen cut. Behind there. Should be good. Yeah, fine. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm not going to tack that in first because I got to do some elements on the front, some imitation rivets, just to give it some kind of a interesting look. And if I get spatter on that mesh, it's really hard to clean out. So that's going to be the last thing I put on. So we're just going to put the mesh aside for now, deal with the rest of this structural part of it, and then put that stuff in last. Because, like I say, the spatter is just terrible. Don't even have any anti-spatter spray here right now, so I don't want to take a chance on that. Alright, so what I got here is a piece of angle iron, face down, clamp down, so when I put these tacks, fake rivets, it won't warp the whole thing that way. It's probably still going to warp it a little bit, but it won't be really, really warped. So I want to control that as much as possible. But I think when I take the clamp off, she's going to spring up a little. I might have to give her a little persuasion one way or another. Got you some fake rivets. Just some little buttons. Well, there's all the rivets. You'll see a little gap right here. This is just an example of what I am going to do. It's going to be on the supports in the front. There will be an ornamental piece, something around that size, maybe a little heavier. But that just gives me a spot to weld to, basically. Just a quick cleanup, just to give me a visual of whether everything is looking okay, anything I might have to fix. I'm going to give it a good going over once it's done. Clean it up again. So I think that's all I'm going to work on tonight. I think tomorrow I'll fire up the forge and make the decorative bits and pieces and finish it up and install it. So we'll see you on the next one.